Prince Harry refused Prince Charles' demand during tense showdown talks with his father. Prince Harry refused to tell Prince Charles about the contents of his new memoir during a meeting, a royal commentator has claimed. The Duke of Sussex, 37, has written the work and a completed manuscript has been signed off by lawyers. However, the memoir is believed to be causing tensions among senior royals. Harry met Charles while the Duke visited Windsor on his way with his wife Meghan Markle to the Invictus Games in the Netherlands in April. Royals and the Church of England must excommunicate this pair of lying elders, abusing, racist, hateful, selfish, deceitful, manipulative pair of utter losers. Nothing will make them popular again now. Time to end them. Just let him get on with his self-serving life fest of victimhood and spew all that hate out. We all know now just how low he can go. Hopefully there will be no way back ever for him. Neil Sean, citing a royal source, said, Harry refused to talk about what he put down in his book. The refusal reportedly led to the Prince of Wales stopping the meeting after 10 minutes. Mr. Sean added, we know Prince Charles spent very little time with his son Prince Harry. Charles wanted to have a one-to-one chat, but that ended up being a very brief meeting. Instead of airing his grievances in a book, he should be able to sit down like a man and have a discussion. That's what adults do. The man-child seeks attention on a global whinge-fest of how hard done he's been, which no ordinary people could or ever understand, without the privilege his family has bestowed on him all his talentless life. According to a very good source, allegedly Prince Harry refused to detail anything about his forthcoming memoir to Prince Charles, the big sticking point this year, being the Queen's Platinum Jubilee and the 75th year of Camilla, the Duchess of Cornwall. Charles doesn't want any negativity. Mr. Sean explained that according to his good source, Harry refused to share what he had written in his memoir. He added, it has been pushed back, and Charles will have to wait and see like the rest of us. Publisher Penguin Random House announced last year that the memoir would hit the shelves sometime in 2022. There have since been reports the intimate and heartfelt work, co-written with a ghostwriter, could be out in November. A publishing source told The Sun, the manuscript has been finished and gone through all of the legal processes. What he doesn't realize is that people liked and were interested in the prince he was. They don't like and aren't very interested in the pathetic sort of man he became. Hopefully Prince Charles has finally realized that Harry and his wife can never ever be trusted, and he will finally admit defeat and cut them off. Harry is as vindictive and spiteful as his wife. And still resentful that his father had stopped his pocket money. It's done and out of Harry's hands. The publishing date has been pushed back once, but it is on track for the end of the year. Royal watchers have warned the memoir could reignite tensions that the royal family has sought to diffuse. Harry said in a statement announcing the book, I'm writing this not as the prince I was born but as the man I have become. I've worn many hats over the years, both literally and figuratively, and my hope is that in telling my story, the highs and lows, the mistakes, the lessons learned, I can help show that no matter where we come from, we have more in common than we think. Demands. Next time he soils our shores he should be put in protective custody in the Tower of London pending his father dealing with him when king. He has admitted being off his head anyway. The prince is to donate proceeds from the book to charity. Harry will be following in his wife's footsteps after she saw her own book, The Bench, published. It tells the story of a relationship between a father and son. It is based on Harry and the Sussexes' son Archie. Markle issued another expensive PR statement telling the world that her husband stood up to his father. I call BS on the whole thing. The sentence that states that Harry wrote his book is why. Harry didn't write the book. All these two do is lie. They lied to the public about Archie's birth date. They've been secret marching all along. The work was inspired by a poem the Duchess of Sussex wrote for her husband on Father's Day and a month after their son was born. Harry also follows other royals who have penned works, including Prince Charles, who wrote The Old Man of Lochnagar, which is based on stories he would tell brothers Andrew and Edward. The Duke of York's ex-wife, Sarah Ferguson, has also written a number of children's stories. Henry, you're into very deep and dangerous water. Hope she's worth it. I do believe you've crossed the line of what any normal family will put up with. Not only have you and your wife hurt your family, friends, and Her Majesty, you also accomplished to hurt an entire country and the majority of people in the Commonwealth countries. This will end badly for you, your mental health and your wallet, because now we know the truth via Lady Colin Campbell's and Tom Bower's books. I feel that his book will be a total flop. His position in RF was exposed as the second tier, and their popularity in UK and US was non-existent. Now there's a revenge book on the revenge book coming, written by moron Leek Boot, with help of schizophrenic M. We know how that will end, bury them further. Their reaction to Mr. Bohr's book solidifies his claims. Let's wait and see how they finally react. Silly gooses in the real world, children in an adult world, ducks without a pond. The not-too-smart couple surrounds themselves with not-too-smart people. Prince Harry refused to tell Prince Charles about the contents of his new memoir. If this article is true, if Prince Charles, Harry's father, the grandfather of Harry's children, did ask to have a preview, and if Harry did deny his king-to-be, then we know everything that matters. It is not the contents of the memory that are relevant anymore, it is Harry's wanton need to hurt and harm others, by preventing them from preparing Harry as causing unnecessary concern, preventing them from being prepared in terms of necessary mitigations, and preventing them from affording protections to others where necessary. Harry refused to tell Charles what is written in the book because Harry has absolutely no fracking clue about what is written in his memoir. Meghan Markle is the one closely working with the ghostwriter. Just like funding freedom and now apparently omits Scabies' new book to be released next year. Those 3 books should be in the fairy tale fantasy section in the bargain bucket. Instead of airing his grievances in a book, he should be able to sit down like a man and have a discussion. That's what adults do. The man-child seeks attention on a global whinge-fest of how hard done he's been, which no ordinary people could or ever understand, without the privilege his family have bestowed on him all his talentless life. So he says he loves the Queen and wants to make sure she has the right PPL around her. He loves her so much he's bringing a book out to try to disgrace the family. Has he had one thought of what this is going to do to her? Nah, he's out to cause as much trouble as he can because he's a spoilt little brat and no doubt got her pennyworth in on it. It'd say once it's published, don't bother coming back to the UK, you won't be welcome. Why would anyone want to buy a book of lies from 2 has-beens? Certainly, not me, but I look forward to reading Tom Bower's book. It will be in my case a good read on my holiday, at least it will be more truthful. If I was the Queen, I think my response would be, oh, did Harry write a book? How nice for him, and that would be the only comment uttered by the RF. The less oxygen they give this dumpster fire the better.